Trying something different so far.
I'm trying to get the camera to focus on me, but anyway, yes.
That's what I deal with every day, folks. So yesterday I went back to Micro Center,
Yeah.
took the hard drives back,
Okay.
and got solid state drives.
Mm-hmm.
So I took back the M.2 drive because that wasn't going to work, and then I took back all of the spinning rust, and said these aren't going to work.
Okay.
And so Micro Center took them back, although that process took forever. I understand why they do this. They opened up every single box, made sure the hard drive that was serial number matched.
Yeah, of course.
What was returned, which I get it, but I took 4 of these things plus the M.2. It took 25 minutes for this guy to open all this back up and whatever. Doesn't matter. They took it back, gave me my money back. And then I walked over to the solid state department.
I like that this is solid state department.
Yes, and I said, I need solid state drives for a NAS. Now, these are obviously more expensive. So what I have done for now is I have 2 4-terabyte drives in there.
2 4-terabyte drives.
So effectively,
how much is a 4-terabyte SSD?
$249.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, they were a little bit... Actually, I think they were $229, something like that.
Okay,
but like those 2 drives were effectively the same cost as the 4 other drives that I had. Now, obviously, I'm only using 4 terabytes instead of what I had 8 terabytes. I can't even remember now. It infinitely quieter.
Yeah, I bet. So, without spinning drives in there, do you hear anything? Like, what's the?
It sounds exactly like a PC running. There's just a low little hum. Hold on, let me see if the fans are.
Yeah, I mean,
I can hear the fans kind of whirling, but it's...
You got an Intel or an AMD one?
It's an Intel one.
Yeah. I mean, so these are incredibly low-end chips. I mean, and by the way, one thing you should consider, and I don't know exactly which one you got, but I bet it probably came with 2 gigs of RAM. And
more RAM is...
Get the 4 gig module from... Well, you can get it from... I got mine from Crucial, but through Amazon, I guess. Those things, it's cheap. It's like $29 or something, and just do that, because you'll see in that dashboard like what the utilization is. Like that will go from like 80% down to like nothing. That helps a lot.
Yep. So it's not going back yet. Okay. It's right now it's downloading all my OneDrive. So that's 500 gigs of data. The biggest issue I'm running into right now, which I remember you complaining or talking about this at one point, but using Google Takeout, I'm trying to get all my photos out of Google Photos. That is like, if I can't get that to work, then I will take this back. But
I might be able to help you with that.
Is there a way to do it not with Takeout, because it keeps failing and saying we couldn't generate your 50 gig file or whatever?
Oh boy, no, I've never seen that.
Yeah.
So you're just doing photos, right? Like you go in,
photos.
you select. Okay.
Yep. Well, not even. I went to Google Takeout and then I just clicked photos and just went, give me it, and then put it in a 50 gig file and it says error.
It's 50 gig, really? Like
I don't know.
Oh.
Well, so you have options for like how big the individual files should be, because it like zips them up or whatever.
Right, and you want to. Yeah, I usually do whatever the biggest one is, like 8 gigs or something or whatever. But so. Yeah, I mean, you could literally go to the web interface for Google Photos and do some kind of scroll, select, but you can only do that in like chunks. You're going to be, it's tedious. Like, and I don't know how many photos you have, but like that can be
tens of thousands.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants that. That's like a day of work,
So that's why I was trying to use Google Takeout, and where it will
Google Takeout has always worked great for me. I would try different download sizes, which you may have already
that's
done.
what so right now I picked the second highest one was like 20 or something, and we'll see if that works.
I see. Okay. Yeah. One time I did it, and it was like, I think I just kept the default, which maybe is like 2 gig or something. It was like, your 11,000 files are ready to download. You're like, oh, because even then you have to kind of manually click through the email you get or whatever it is, and like go one, like, okay, download this one. So like you kind of want to have as few as possible, but then again, they're big files, like you have to kind of deal with that. Yeah, sorry, man.
Yeah. In theory, I could just rip them all right out of OneDrive because I haven't. Part of the problem, not problem, is that I have my photos everywhere. So they're in Google Photos because Google Photos used to be really good. It's still okay, but they ruined the search, which really turned me off to it.
I know that's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like the search in Google Photos went from magical to like, what the frick is
Yeah,
this?
they
Like,
can't.
yeah.
Yeah. So they're there. They're also because there's no way for me not to pay for Apple's whatever storage stuff because we all have iPhones and iPads and whatever
Hmm.
else. So like they're in there, and then I've also
Yeah.
have them in OneDrive. Um,
I got to go back and look at my
yeah.
stuff. Well, at first you got to get them downloaded, but like the trick there is you basically get like a raw dump of photos. Like it's just a dump. And so when I was doing a like consolidation stuff, whatever, digital decluttering, I used different tools to organize them into like month, year folder structures or whatever. Like, I don't know how you want to organize them, but like, or even if you want to, I guess you could just throw the dump in there. But like, you know, you don't want just like a single folder full of whatever 11,000 photos or whatever it is. Like, or
Right.
maybe you do. I don't know. I don't. But you know, it takes some work, unfortunately. But
Yeah, there's the Synology's photo app. I'll be curious to see. There's some
Mhm.
third-party photo apps that you can
Yeah.
use too.
Since I've been using Synology, I back up my phones to there as well as to OneDrive and Google Drive. And I get actually, if I'm using an Apple device, it does go to iCloud as well. Yeah, it's a nice mess of most of my photos are in most places, but you know, like it's just I don't know.
Yeah, the goal here is to cancel my because I'm only paying for Google stuff just for photos. So the
Right.
goal is to get the photos out of there into Synology, and then also since they're in Apple already, that's my third
Yeah.
backup,
Yeah.
and then that's
Yep.
what I need.
There you
And
go.
then GitHub, same thing. I want all my stuff local,
Yep.
as well as in
Yeah.
GitHub because part of the catalyst for all this was I'm concerned that my brad@outlook.com account will get compromised someday, and then I'll just be screwed.
Right. Right.
Even though I have 2FA on, I have everything done, I have all the alerts you can have set up, but it gets hit hundreds of times a day.
Yep. It's like, yeah, it's nice having this really simple email address, but then it's also like a target.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
No.
Well, yeah, it's too bad you couldn't associate a Microsoft account with a custom domain anymore, because that would at least help you get into the account. Like if you had to move the account to a different email provider, you know, you could get in that way. But yeah, I don't know. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. Buy a Synology and some NAS drives, and then
Oh yeah,
return them,
that's
and then
what
buy
that
a
would be.
different
Yeah,
one.
that might help. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
But now I got to get it all.
No, the organizing of is the nightmare, and even you know, like the takeout stuff. You've reminded me we're hitting the end of the year, which means like pretty soon I'm going to have to go consolidate my 2025 photos again. You know, and then I'll whenever I do that work, I'll push it out to Synology at least. But yeah, it's become a career, man. It's like just managing this data is like a nightmare.
With all my free time, it should be easy.
Yeah, if you have enough of that, you could do mine too. Because I don't.
I'll probably try to figure out how to automate this somehow. There's got to be a way. I know you can already download the Synology apps onto the phone, which should push them to the drive, which I'm hoping will solve all my life's problems once all the data's
The Synology apps are pretty great, honestly. Well, the basic apps like the Drive app and the Photos app are both good. You know, and I mean, I interact with Drive all the time, not so much Photos, but it's one of those things. You know, like you'd probably do this with anything. Like you just look at it every once in a while. You're like, okay, it's doing its thing. You know.
Yeah. And then it just sits there, not making noise. Thank you. I can't, dude. I can't get over how loud this thing was.
Yes.
I mean, I haven't been around spinning Rust in a while, so that's part of it. But for those drives next to each other, downloading data.
Right. Well, this kind of makes me wonder, though. Like, I mean, yeah, solid state's expensive. It's like, I guess I could have done this a little differently here, but I don't know. I'm gonna route this thing through the laundry room. Basically, it's just, but it's fine. I mean, my wife sits in there next to it. Believe me, she would she would not be quiet about it if it was bad. But at first I had it on the desk and she was like, so this thing, she's like, what's going on with this? I'm like, I can put it on the floor, but I guess it's better there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Put it on your wife's nightstand, it'll be fine.
Oh God, the problem would be is how much water would get spilled on that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
My wife's just like a newborn owl. Every time she's trying to find water in the middle of the night, just
yeah. I don't.
flapping.
If I move around a lot in the night and I basically flail every time I reach for anything on the nightstand, or on purpose or by mistake, I've knocked over glasses. We have these little this thing, this like kind of light thing.
Mm-hmm.
This breaks really easily, which I know because I've broken 2 of them. But yeah, I get it.
Well, so I don't know. Now I got to figure out how to get. This is how dumb I am. So it's called a NAS, right?
Yep.
And I'm just going to call it NAS-A. So then it's NASA.
Nice.
Thinking about renaming all my computers like planet names. So like the top one would be Earth. This one would be Moon because it's like the satellite.
Sure.
The one
your personal one would be called Uranus for all the obvious reasons.
Any computer that's about to be thrown out would be Pluto.
Nice.
We'll see. But now I got to get it set up on everything, and then that's a whole other process. And
I don't know. For the most part, it's been. I mean, it's been overwhelmingly positive for me.
Yeah.
But there are these little complexities tied to, I don't know, data replication and whatever, and I'm like, I don't quite. I have this weird feeling that they're syncing like to each other, but syncing the sync to each other. Like it's like I think there might be like too many copies of the data or something.
Yeah. So my current strategy right now is not to give up OneDrive. So my plan is that I'm still just going to continue to use my personal OneDrive the exact same way, and that's going to be the medium that transfers. Now I'll have access to the drive on everything.
Yep.
But I'm not going to go manually adding things and saving probably directly to the drive. I'm going to continue just to put it into OneDrive.
Yeah.
And look, that'll sync down to my NAS.
You need to kind of build confidence in this in a way. So like however you do work, at some point you're like, you have whatever it is, whatever you're working on, where you're like, okay, I'm going to move this over here, or going to use this, the Synology version, see how it goes. And in my case, like it was pretty quick. Like I think it was when I went to build in May, I was just doing like one of the main folders I kind of use the work out of, and it was like, oh, this worked like fantastically well. So I very quickly moved on to just doing everything, and I kind of wasn't expecting that to work, but it works unbelievably well. Like it's great. You can also, by the way, install a plugin or something from Synology that will back up to Google Drive or OneDrive or whatever. Like you should look into that stuff too.
Oh, maybe that's the smarter one of those methods. My goal is to not be saving things in multiple places. It's just one save to rule them all.
Yeah, if you could just sync it essentially.
With the exception of source code, because that I cannot put in OneDrive. It's just everyone's like, don't put it in OneDrive. I'm like, oh, I'll do it in OneDrive. What do you mean it's not great? And just don't do it, because when you are like actively developing a project, you're saving all those files all the time. Oh, it's just horrific.
People don't. Like in Visual Studio, there's like a million little files that are, some of which are kind of specific to that computer maybe or whatever. But
just don't do it.
I mean, it works better in OneDrive. It doesn't work at all in Google Drive, but it works in Synology. Like that does work. But you have to do it and try it and make sure. You have to make sure for yourself that it's.
Yeah. So what I have it doing right now is it just takes backups of the drive that I save it to, and then that seems to be working. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're trying to make it work.
I'm trying to just shoehorn this thing right into my life that I really didn't need, but kind of did. The big scary thing is that if I lose access to my brad@outlook.com, I would be in trouble.
No, right. So I sort of appreciate that you're being proactive about it. It took me to, we had that disaster with YouTube I keep talking about. It's like, I can't go through that again. I'm like, like what, like we got really lucky on that one because you happen to still have your authenticator thing or whatever it was, right? Authenticator app was still somehow connected to this old account. Like, thank God. because that was the end of it. Otherwise, like.
Anyways, next week, credit card reward points. We'll be back on the agenda.